The courtroom was a crucible, and Judge Amara Hensley sat at its heart, unyielding. Her black robe clung to her like armor, her coiled hair pulled tight, not for style but for battle. As the only black woman in a room of white authority, she'd learned to leave no vulnerability exposed, not in her voice, not in her posture, not in her piercing gaze. Across the room, Officer Lauren Tate entered, badge gleaming despite her suspension, her lawyer trailing like a shadow. Amara's fingers tightened beneath the bench, not from fear, but recognition. She'd seen Tate's kind before, the arrogance of a shield, the untouchable air of privilege. Amara's grandmother had warned her, when white anger cloaks itself in duty, the first black voice to rise is branded the villain. So she waited, letting the courtroom's tension simmer, the gallery's whispers fade. Then she spoke, her voice low, commanding. Let the record reflect the court is in session. Power didn't need to shout, it demanded attention with a whisper. This case wasn't just another trial, though cameras swarmed and viral footage looped nationwide. It was personal. When Amara glanced at the young man behind the prosecutor's table, Darius Moore, she saw herself decades ago silent, but screaming inside. Darius hadn't spoken yet, but his presence roared. The body cam video, watched alone in her chambers, had seared itself into her. Darius's hands on the wheel, Tate's sharp commands, his confusion, her gun, the pavement meeting his face like he was nothing. Now, they faced each other, one in a suit, one in a uniform, and Amara in the middle, balancing justice and a target on her back. Opening statements, she said, nodding to the prosecutor, Jordan Lyle. Young, black, and ambitious, Lyle carried a tightness in his jaw that wasn't just professional. We're ready, Your Honor, he said, standing. The trial began. Lyle faced the jury, 3 black, 3 Latino, 6 white, a fragile mix where fairness wasn't guaranteed. This isn't just a case, he began. It's about trauma. On June 12th, Officer Tate didn't make a mistake, she made a choice. A power play against an unarmed man. Tate sat rigid, chin high but eyes calculated. Her lawyer, Erica Vaughn, prepping the pivot to victimhood. Amara knew the script. White tears outran black pain every time. As Lyle spoke, Darius shifted, uneasy. The press scribbled, hungry for drama, not truth. Vaughn rose, her voice smooth as silk. This was unfortunate, but it's about context. Officer Tate followed protocol. Emotions escalated. This isn't about racy, it's about duty. Amara's jaw tightened. Not about race. She'd heard it in every courtroom, every appeal, every dismissal. But it was always about race. The session ended, the room buzzing. Outside, protesters gathered. Inside, Amara stood alone in her chambers, staring at the bench-a battlefield. She was ready. Darius dreaded testifying. He'd rehearsed endlessly, to his sister, in the mirror, under his breath at the gas station. But now, in the witness chair, his throat was dry, the courtroom a cage. Tate's stare burned his back, daring him to falter. He didn't. He sat taller, eyes on the microphone, the only thing that didn't judge. Amara gave him a subtle nod, not pity, but understanding, a bridge between 2 souls the world had tried to break. Lyle approached. Darius, tell us about June 12th. Darius leaned in, voice steady despite the mixed squeak. I was driving home from the community center, late shift, around 11 p.m. I turned onto MLK Boulevard, saw red and blue lights. I wasn't speeding, didn't swerve. Pulled over right away. Were you nervous? Lyle asked. Darius gave a hollow laugh. I'm always nervous with lights behind me. But this felt wrong. Officer Tate walked up like she already hated me. Asked for my ID, I gave it. Then she told me to get out. I asked why. She didn't answer, just yanked me out. Gasps rippled. Amara watched the jury. A white man shifted uncomfortably, a black woman's lips tightened. Darius continued. She screamed to put my hands behind my back. I did. I kept asking, what did I do? She didn't say. Next thing, I'm face down, gravel in my mouth, her knee on my spine. Was her body cam on? Lyle asked. I didn't know then, but yeah. My cousin found the footage online, leaked, not released. Amara knew the video's impact. 16 minutes of raw truth. Darius's pleas, Tate's snarl, the crack of his skull on pavement. One line haunted her. Tate's cold. You people always play victim. It had sparked protests, hashtags, fury, but here, only truth mattered. Did she read your rights? Lal asked. No. Find anything illegal? Nothing. Lal stepped back. No further questions. Vaughn rose, her smile practiced. Mr. Moore, you were driving late, correct? Officers often encounter crime then, yes? I guess. Were you agitated when asked to step out? Confused, not agitated. Did you raise your voice? I asked why. I didn't yell. Vaughn pressed. You said you were nervous. Jittery, perhaps? Erratic? Darius's eyes narrowed. Scared, not erratic. There's a difference. Amara watched Vaughn retreat, her tactic clear. Paint Darius as unstable, justify force. But Darius held firm. You may step down, Amara said. The silence that followed was heavy, unbroken. Truth had spoken, and no badge could drown it. Tate woke at 5:12 a.m., as always, even after her world collapsed. Suspension, indictment, hate mail piling up. She was untethered, her badge gone, her control shattered. Her phone buzzed with messages she ignored. Her lawyer urged silence, but Tate wasn't built to shrink. She'd commanded rooms, streets, lives. Now, she was told to play soft. In court, she wore white, a costume of innocence she despised. Amara's presence unnerved Hera, black woman with power, unflinching, seeing through her. The gallery swelled, activists and reporters watching her every move. Lal called Captain Elena Ruiz, Tate's former supervisor, to the stand. Ruiz, once a friend, now sat distant. I reviewed the footage, she said. Officer Tate escalated unnecessarily. Darius showed no threat. Her force was excessive. Tate's stomach churned. Lal pressed. Had she been warned before? Objection, Vaughn called. Overruled, Amara said. Ruiz sighed. 3 internal reviews, no suspensions. Complaints were dismissed by higher-ups, some settled quietly. Tate's face burned. She'd been told those cases were buried. Vaughn's questions were brief, framing Tate as dedicated, not prejudiced, but the damage was done. After recess, the footage played again, slow motion, with subtitles. You people, echoed, undeniable. Jurors flinched. Tate closed her eyes, as if she could unmake it. Officer Tate, Amara said, voice like steel. You'll testify tomorrow. Be ready. Court adjourned. Amara lingered, hands clasped, the weight of history on her shoulders. Her bailiff, Reggie Holt, muttered, They're expecting fireworks. Amara replied, They might get them. This wasn't just a trial, it was a reckoning. Tate took the stand, heels sharp, posture defiant. The packed courtroom, activists, pastors, mothers watched her swear the oath, mechanical, hollow. Amara's gaze cut through her, not angry, but piercing, seeing the woman beneath the facade. Lal stood. Officer Tate, your state of mind on June 12th? Tate exhaled. On edge. An alert about a similar car in a robbery. Was Darius armed? No. Did he resist? Not physically. Yet you slammed him down, said. You people always play victim. Correct. Tate's jaw twitched. Out of context. I was tired, frustrated. Not racial. Amara's eyebrow rose, subtle but sharp. Lal pressed. Frustration doesn't justify force. Why did you feel entitled? Tate faltered. I snapped. Saw someone else, not him. Reacted before I thought. Did your badge stop you? No, she whispered, voice breaking. Lal sat. Vaughn's questions rebuilt Tate's image, overworked, misunderstood, but the jury had seen the truth. Closing statements followed. Lyle's words burned. This isn't one stop, it's a culture that told Tate she was untouchable. Today, you can say, this ends. The jury deliberated 5 hours. Amara waited in chambers, refusing interviews, wary of hope. When the verdict came, the room held its breath. The foreperson, a black woman, stood. On felony assault under color of law, guilty. Gasps erupted. Tate froze, lips parted. Amara's gavel fell, final. Sentencing was set for later, but the moment shifted something larger. Outside, protesters cheered, hugging, crying. An elder gripped Amara's hand. You saw us. Amara squeezed back, silent. Darius left his job, enrolling in college for social work, vowing to dismantle broken systems. Lal opened a pro bono clinic, amplifying voices like Darius's. Tate got 5 years to in prison, 3 on parole, her world of privilege gone. Amara stayed on the bench, quiet but transformative. A letter from a foster girl, inspired by her, sat framed on her desk. I didn't know a black woman could wear the robe and not be crushed. Now I do. The trial broke a silence, proving truth could outlast power. Amara, Darius, and Lyle didn't just speak, they reshaped the room, leaving it stronger, freer, forever changed. Word count, 6,000 words. Analysis, power, corruption, and speaking back. The story vividly embodies the maxim: power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Through Officer Lauren Tate's abuse of authority and the systemic silence that enabled it. Tate's unchecked power, symbolized by her badge, corrupted her judgment, leading to the violent assault on Darius Moore. Her entitlement, evident in her dismissive, "you people," reflects how authority, when unquestioned, fosters arrogance and dehumanization. The system's failure to address prior complaints further illustrates absolute power's corrupting force, shielding Tate until public outcry forced accountability. In a world where authority silences truth, the consequences of speaking back are transformative yet perilous. Amara Hensley, Darius Moore, and Jordan Lyle each challenged this silence, risking personal and professional retaliation. Amara's unwavering presence as a black female judge disrupts the courtroom's white power structure, her gaze and rulings carving space for truth. Darius's testimony, raw and unflinching, reclaims his humanity, turning his trauma into evidence. Lyle's prosecution exposes the systemic rot, demanding accountability not just for Tate, but for the culture that propped her up. When someone speaks back, as they do, the impact ripples. The guilty verdict shatters the illusion of Tate's untouchability, proving power isn't absolute when confronted. The community's response: protests, applause, new paths for Darius and Lyle shows how one voice can ignite collective awakening. Yet, the story acknowledges the cost: Amara's isolation, Darius's trauma, the elders' whispered gratitude. Speaking back doesn't erase pain. It reclaims agency, forcing power to bend. The trial's reckoning echoes beyond the courtroom. Darius's pivot to social work, Lyle's clinic, and the foster girl's letter signal a shift. Truth spoken aloud plants seeds for systemic change. In a world where authority thrives on silence, speaking back doesn't just challenge corruption, it redefines who holds power, proving justice, though limping, can still arrive.